Alright, everybody. It's just me. Everyone is out there trading and having fun and playing Commander or being in the top 8. And I'm in a broom closet by myself, talking to myself, staring at the wall. But that's what we do. I apologize. We join our game now in progress. This is the semifinal matchup of Friday Night Standard from Lost Legion Games and Comics. 4 rounds, pared down to 8 players. And now we have this matchup for you. So on the left is Max Turner. He's playing Blue-Black Control. And his opponent, Garrett Meadows, a.k.a. Garrett Relentless, he is playing Bant Control. So this is going to be one of those games. But it is definitely a part of Magic. And we're not going to worry about this not running to time. You're going to have a lot of Magic to watch here. So, interesting cards in this matchup. Garrett plays 2 Drown Yards and 2 Black Sources, which is a change he made at some point to before we went to the Star City Columbus game, which is trying to lean towards, is hedging towards the mirror, so that will benefit him here. Max playing it in the main deck anyway.
At the end of his turn, he goes 3. I heard him say it.
Okay. I'm now joined by Alec Myers. Did you get some Commander in out there?
No, I was playing until just a moment ago.
Oh, you were in the top 8?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot that you were in the top 8.
Yeah, Garrett got me.
Garrett's a bad matchup for you. He has much more control elements. So this game is basically going to boil down to Drown Yards. Mm-hmm.
Who's going to draw the second Drown Yard?
Yeah, it really is that much. And if somebody's playing a Ghost Quarter, that's really what this match is going to come down to.
I know that Garrett is playing a one of acidic slime.
Yes, and Max is playing he's playing Overload. What's the card? Cyclonic Rift. So he can at least interact with Planeswalkers as well. But Max has a lot of Planeswalkers, so it will be interesting to see if any of those can stick. But this might just be the game we watch. The other matchup is Naya Midrange versus Junk Tokens, or Junk Reanimator. But when I went out there to pick the guys, the Junk Reanimator player, I don't think wanted to play on camera again. So obviously I'm not going to force anyone to.
Yeah, Corey. I think Corey wanted to. He asked Garrett if he wanted to.
Oh, I mistook that. I thought he was asking if he didn't want to, but.
Oh, the Cyclonic Rift. Who went first? I want to know who's going to win.
There's a question about whether I had any mint volcanic islands. Ironically, someone was supposed to trade me one earlier today, and then they came up about 30 minutes ago and said, "Oh, I've decided to trade to someone else." So the answer is no, I don't. I have 4 Trops, a Tundra, a Savannah, and a Scrubland. Any of those are interested?
I'm guessing there's a very low chance of me having things that you want.
For those?
No, not for those. Just in general for trading.
Oh, you never know. You'd be surprised. We can chat about that offline. If anyone in the chat has, I will tell you something I've been looking for a while is the last foil fetches for my collection. I need 3 Tarns and 3 Misty Rainforest foiled. So if you have any of those, contact me on my various forms of social media. So end of turn.
Oh no, he's gonna mill off first. What's he doing?
Why is he doing this to himself? This is possibly, like, we were so close to going over 200, and then the round ended like just before we hit to 200, and then like this match is inadvertently going to drive people away because it's just like milling. But Max does have both of his Drown Yards online now.
I'm assuming he's just looking for the chase. I can't imagine another card. Yeah, that he would.
Now we have a counter war to see if the chase sticks or not.
It's the bluff. He had 0.
Well, Garrett has like 1,000 cards in his hand, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4 blue sources open, so he can double dissipate. Max has 1 dissipate. I guess Max is trying to decide, like, he's running the numbers in his head. Like, does he let it stick and then activate his, mill 6? That might be, at this point, it might be the race that he wants to get in.
feel like Maxx knew he was going to lose that.
Mm-hmm. And Garrett needs to read the one of Coffee Army of the Damned, which is my favorite card on tonight.
Did you get to play against somebody?
Mm-hmm. So the question is, can both of the Drown Yards that Maxx has outrace the Jace that Garrett has, considering that Maxx started milling first and Jace has resolved a Sphinx's Revelation for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Garrett basically Jaced himself once to find the Jace.
I think Garrett might lose this. I'm not sure. I know he has Pithing Needle on the sideboard. He brought it in against me to name the Drown Yards.
Well, yeah. Maxx has Pithing Needles in his board too. Maxx also doesn't play Jace Memory Adept, so like it's not symmetric. Yeah, so like he can needle Jace, but then also not like slow his own progress down. See, Maxx is in a tricky situation here, and I know this game is not very
Exciting.
Well, it's not that it's not exciting. I mean, it's not like haymaker after haymaker, but like there's a lot of intricacies to this game here.
Yeah.
Every time Maxx does not, if like Maxx has to decide, do I just try to mill? Like, am I going to win that race? Because every time he taps something to try and resolve a spell to win, like he's just getting rid of creatures or getting rid of cards in his deck or ability to mill Garrett. I know I stumbled over that a million times, but every land he taps is one he's not using, feeding into his Drown Yard, you know? And that's it. So in the battle of the two control decks, Jason Memory Adept rules all. That was fun because I didn't have to update any of the life totals.
Yeah.
So we moved to Game 2. Game 2 should be drastically different. I do know from last round when we talked to Maxx about his deck, he is bringing in 3 negates and he is bringing in 2 Pithing Needles. And, well, he might be bringing in Appetite for Brains. Yeah. He's bringing in 3 Appetite for Brains and 3 negates. So Max's plan is just going to be to try to resolve one of his early Planeswalkers and then go from there. The only bad part about this is that Garrett has access to Detention Sphere, and Maxx does not. So.
And Garrett has access to the big chase, as you said, while Maxx doesn't.
Yeah, it's I mean, Maxx is supposed to lose this game. It's pretty unfortunate for him that he drew this matchup, because I think either one of these decks would roll the other 2 decks, the other decks in the other semifinal. I think whoever wins this one is going to win the other one, assuming it's not, assuming that Joseph's Naya deck doesn't win, because his deck does have some kind of like nutty draws with haste creatures and Thrag Tusks and stuff.
Yeah, I played in round 2, and I put a Thundermaw back on top of his deck, and then I milled 3, and it was Thundermaw, Bonfire, and I was like, okay, well.
Good game. Or a nice mill, I should say.
It was pretty scary.
So let's take a quick look and see what happened with the poll. So remember, I'll flash the quick. So for those of you who've been watching Dedicated, you'll know that Max Turner every other week lets us decide, as the viewers of the stream and fans of the Facebook page, which deck he ends up playing. So we're closing that poll here at the end of Swiss rounds, and the winner is. Well, the also-rans, I should say, were Boros Humans, Grimgrin Combo, Red-Green Werewolves, and Bug Self-Mill. The winner, Rug Delver with Quirion Dryads. So
this has 13.
It has, like, it's not exact.
Oh, is it not?
No, it's it just has C at the bar.
Oh.
Like, this is a weird thing that it does.
Oh, I see.
So, see, it has like 10 other people other than it's listed there.
Oh.
So, so congratulations to Rug Delver. That build is basically a blue-red Delver build with counter burn with Delvers and Pikes and Invisible Stalkers, and then Quirion Dryads that also kind of get out of control as well. Not nearly as good as it was pre pre-rotation when you still had access to Phyrexian mana spells. But still, should be fun. A month ago, he played Burn at the Stake combo, which was the coolest thing ever. Did you end up playing him that week?
Yeah, you said you hoped I lost.
Oh, I know I did, and I believe I probably followed that up by apologizing because I just want to see the fun deck do something fun. There's also a point where I want whatever deck lost, regardless of who I'm watching, I want whoever lost the first game to win the second one. Because I just want I want to go to game 3 because I got time to fill in here. I'm running a show, so. But was he the one that it wasn't you that he comboed off on, was it? Like the on camera. Oh, you were playing him in round 5, but then you ended up drawing in anyway and both made the top 8. Yeah.
Because
I wanted to see. Yeah, I wanted him to get to the top 8 was the thing.
Yeah, I had won, but I wasn't at any risk if I drew, so I drew with him.
Yeah, seems fair. It seems fun good for the cause. Last week he played Red-Green Stuffy Doll, which was another deck. Actually, last week and this week were both decks that I suggested in the comments. We have a pretty extensive, suggestion. People put in tons of suggestions, and then we just pick the ones that have the most likes in the comments and stuff. And then everybody votes on it. But last week was not real fun. The problem with the Stuffy Doll deck is it doesn't really do a lot. It's not very proactive. And while it can be fun when you Blasphemous Act and stuff like that, your Stuffy Doll. No. But you can reverberate a Blasphemous Act, which is pretty fun. But the problem is that it was just kind of a boring deck, so it didn't really do anything.
He said that he wanted to, or I think I recall we went over to the China buffet over there, and I think Maxx said something about he would put white in his deck if he had the lands. I'm not sure if that's what he said. But he said that's why I was running black, blue.
So I think Maxx is resolving Mulligan down to 6. He's going to be on the play, so he's going to be up against it. To be perfectly honest, Maxx is going to be up against it pretty much regardless. But hopefully he'll be able to find a way out of it. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of magic played. I don't mind counter magic fights, like counter spell battles. Yeah, that's fine. That's a part of the game. But
land battles are a little bit different.
Dueling Drown Yards is not nearly as fun. Appetite for Brains, right off the top. Sphinx's Revelation. It's Sphinx's none of it. It misses everything. That's the worst ever.
Wow, that really isn't... Wait, what do you... Oh.
So Appetite for Brains reads, cards with mana cost 4 or more.
Get exiled.
And Garrett has basically the only hand he can have where nothing would hit. Farseek is getting syncopated, and that's a very good play at this point, not just in terms of tempo, but the more... This is just a battle for resources, you know what I mean?
I think he did it because he doesn't have a black for his Affiliate Drown Yard.
Yes. But it's also just, even if that wasn't the play, just being able to keep him off mana is huge. Whoever ends up having more mana usually wins these games. And there's Maxx, who immediately has 3 mana and a Drown Yard on turn 4. So remember that... Garrett could have brought in Drown Yards, could have brought in Pithing Needles for sideboard and match. And also Garrett does have Acidic Slime, so he does have answers to Max's Drown Yard. Maxx, unfortunately, or coincidentally, does not have that kind of hate in his colors for Garrett's deck. Max's deck is designed to beat...
Aggro?
Yeah.
So Brandon told me that his deck was all about.
So,
the Lola.
Yep. So, say shout out to Nick as he passes, as he leaves for the evening. It's always very rewarding when you know, I know exactly who these people are now.
Yeah.
It's very, very fun.
So, did you do a low light of the week last week?
I forgot. I couldn't remember where it was. There was one.
Logan doing the Faith Shield thing is what I figured it was going to be.
Well, I didn't want to do that one because that one just seems a little mean. Usually the low light of the weeks are something funny, and that one was just look at this guy screw up this rules thing, And that didn't feel as good.
It was still funny, at least.
So Restoration Angel comes down and trades with the Nighthawk. There was a point where Nick Reed played a Rancor as a creature, and then realized he meant Avacyn's Pilgrim or something. And but I imagine that name's drawn. Max, do you know what card that Pithing Needle named? What card did he name with Pithing Needle? Okay, thank you. Yeah, as expected, drown.
Pithing Needle, no, it's all. Like, so you can't activate this either.
No, yeah, it's symmetric, yeah. Appetite for Brains whiffs again, and you look at Garrett's hand, and while he's away from
doing anything productive.
Garrett's far away from actually having a win condition, but like he's so far ahead. He's got a D-sphere, 2 dissipates,
a
negate,
Sphinx's Revelation,
and the ability to draw 1,000,000 cards.
It's pretty crazy.
But he doesn't have a direct answer to this Snapcaster, which if it attacks 9 more times will win the game, I guess. It's very... Question about what time the shop is doing pre-release. I do not know what time they are doing the pre-release. I would imagine it's probably noon, but it might be 11 o'clock. I can go check here shortly.
I've never did a pre-release here, so I don't know from past experience.
It'll be noon probably. And there's a Thragtusk, and that's the difference between Garrett's deck and, well, there's 2 main differences, Thragtusk and Sphinx's Revelation, and that's why bouncing the Pithing Needle, which Garrett can negate here. We do know he has negate up, but that will tap him out and allow... this is risky here because that's the correct play, I think. You let it bounce, you get Drown Yarded, but then you don't open yourself up to max untapping, slamming a Planeswalker. But then again, he does also have Detention Sphere, so
yeah,
Garrett's in pretty good spot here.
The only thing I can think of why he would do that, since 1 to fill your Drown Yard hit isn't really relevant in the grand scheme of things, is he probably has a counter for the Pithing Needle. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a Barter and Blood in his hand.
Is that in the sideboard or main board?
That's in the main board. It's very good.
Yeah, Barter and Blood seems like it'd be pretty good. It doesn't seem particularly good in this matchup.
No, it's not very good at all, but, I mean, it's better than cards he could have brought in. Drown Yard in response. So basically the Cyclonic Rift nets him 6 cards of mill.
Yeah.
Which in this matchup might be good enough. That might need what he needs.
Garrett can't Sphinx's Revelation without putting himself closer to danger. Thragtusk is pretty good against control decks if it resolves, so I can see why he left that in. Since he has to have 2 answers for it. What is that card?
That's Barter and Blood.
Oh, is it?
It's an
old different card.
Well, it's the original one from Mirrodin. That gets negated.
And flashback thing twice.
Yeah. Making sure he has the thing twice. Question about that they left creatures in. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what Garrett's plan is for the mirror, but I mean, as long as that creature is Thragtusk and all of Max's removal is basically like 1 for 1, you know.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like a 3/3 is fine. And Snapcaster is basically just another instant or sorcery. Tamiyo gets dissipated. Or does it resolve and then get dissipated?
So when you said Maxx is playing a lot of Planeswalkers, is it Tamiyo, New Jace, Liliana?
Yeah. Liliana's done a lot of work for him. I mean, obviously in this matchup he's well behind, but both in round 2 and in round 5. Were you in here in round 5?
What?
Or round 4?
Oh yeah, I was in 5. I was.
Did you see him? Oh yeah, last round. Did you see him ultimate? Oh, in the quarterfinals, he won the last game by ultimating Jace, getting his own Army of the Damned.
Seems cool.
In another game, he cast Army of the Damned, then Archaeomancered and bounced Army of the Damned and cast it again.
That's interesting.
26 zombies, and you can flash it back, so it's 39 zombies.
They all enter tapped. I never understood why they had to enter tapped.
It's a thematic thing. Zombies are basically, a lot of zombies enter tapped because like they're supposed to be slow and like unruly. As we break from the action to discuss magic thematics.
Yeah, I just always thought, I thought it was weird that happened, and that like Door to Nothingness enters tapped. As if like you're gonna have 15 mana when you cast it. Generally, you're probably not.
Yeah. Well, Door to Nothingness is, I think it was designed so that basically it's kind of a climactic. You have one turn to deal with this.
Yeah.
If not, so be it.
And then whenever they use it, you have to ask who they're targeting.
Question about what artifact that is. That is a new copy of Pithing Needle. Rest in peace.
Who played Rest in Peace?
Garrett. Garrett has one copy of Rest in Peace in his main deck, so it's very possible that is in there. It's still pretty good because Maxx flashes a lot of cards back.
And if Maxx has a, what's it called? Elixir of Immortality that's going to beat the mill.
Yeah, and he does play Elixir main.
Yeah.
So there we see a Liliana, which I'm not sure if it sticks. I doubt it. Sphinx's Revelation leaving up negate mana. So 1, 2, 3. So drawing 4. See if he finds a negate. He doesn't. Beast mode.
What was he trying to negate? The Liliana?
Liliana.
I looked away. I was watching one person misspell Garrett's name twice in a row.
That's a scoop. So no one has to watch more grindy, control, drown yard mirrors. That's a matchup that Maxx can't really win, to be perfectly honest. And I do want to thank these guys for actually playing it out. Maxx could have easily just demanded a chop, knowing that he probably wouldn't win that match, but he wanted to play some Magic. He knows that we are having good viewership tonight, so we appreciate it. Let me step out just briefly, see what is going on with... yeah, see if they're still playing. Well, they're in the middle of the game. All right, so Alex stepped out to see the other game is in the middle of game 2. But if they finish, we'll slot them over. Let me step outside real quick. Why don't you guys JB? Could you guys JB what time the pre-releases are?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we are in the process of waiting for our other semifinal. If it does not end in the second game, we will move them over, and you will see round 3 of that one. Whoops, that's a mistake. And remember, if you're local, Gatecrash pre-releases next Saturday and Sunday. Come out and play in our events. If you're not local, on Sunday we'll be streaming it. So make sure you click the follow button on Twitch TV. Right above the video window to the left. That way you'll get an email notification every time our stream goes live, because I don't really know exactly when we're going to start streaming, but if you sign up and follow us, you'll get an email and know exactly when that starts. So that is Sunday the 27th. We will be doing our normal FNM on the 25th. That will be standard, the last standard of this current format. And then the following week, whatever that day is in February, at the launch party, we will be doing Gatecrash drafts. So we will be watching one player make his draft selections, and then we will be watching all 3 rounds of that pod, probably getting in 2 pods on the evening. So if you want to watch some limited action, make sure to join us for the pre-release and for the launch party. And I'm just getting confirmation that Lost Legion's Saturday and Sunday pre-releases are both on at 1 o'clock. Did he say they were doing 2?
I'm sure he is. I didn't ask about Saturday.
Okay. Okay. Well, if he's doing Sunday, then he's for sure doing Saturday. So that's a good thing.
I'm excited for it. I want to. Hopefully, how many FNMs is left before then? 1.
We have 1. Yeah, we were just talking about that. We've got FNM next week. That is the last standard of this environment or this format before Gatecrash. Then Saturday pre-release, Sunday pre-release, The following Friday is release. They used to call it launch party. I don't know if they do. And we will be doing non-stop gate crash drafts. Single elimination, just drafts as many as we can. So that's what we'll be streaming that week. And then the week after that, we'll be back into standard with the new cards. And that's something that we get a lot of feedback. People want to know, they love watching the draft videos. They love watching limited. Actually, other than the West Virginia State Finals of the state championship that we streamed, the one draft video we did of Return to Ravnica was the highest viewed video in the history of our stream. But unfortunately, we just don't draft a lot around here. We do have Thursday casual drafts every week. You've been doing those a lot lately.
Yeah.
But the main problem with that is that I don't like to eat up my entire week coming here and doing little shows in the Spoon Closet, because I come on Wednesday to play Legacy, Modern, or Commander, and then I come on Fridays as well. So, but there is a question. I will tell it briefly. Let me see if I can get Maxx in here, because he'll want to hear it too. His wife is here, and also he's talking with Garrett. So earlier in the night, and we're losing people like flies. That's the way it always goes. Earlier in the night, I talked about how one time I made a saleswoman cry at a furniture store. Were you in here when we were talking about it?
No.
Okay, so I don't know how it came up. Oh yeah, we were talking about Value Town, the slang, and then I talked about Value City Furniture, which is a store around here. Then I talked about how I bought a piece of furniture from there, and I made a saleswoman cry. And so this is the story of that. I bought from them a full-size casino-style poker table. You've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice piece of furniture. It's like, felted and the racetrack. It's a nice piece because I was playing a lot of poker back in that day, and I wanted to have that for my house. But the problem is that it came with these really awful chairs. They're the ones that I have with it, and I hated the chairs, so I just wanted to buy the table and not the chairs. But they wouldn't do it because it was the last one, and it was like a display model, and they didn't want to piece it out. So I go, all right. And the reason I knew that is because I was out of town for work that week, and I knew they only had one left, so I asked my dad to go down and asked them if we could buy just the table, because I was in Pittsburgh or something. And so my dad went down, he came back, he said, I talked to them, and they said they wouldn't sell it, they'd have to do this, and you wouldn't no discount, no nothing like that. You have to buy it all or nothing, that's the way it was. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just come down when I come back, and I'll just bite the bullet and get it, because I wanted the table anyway. I didn't want to lose the chair. I'll pay for the chairs, whatever, so I can get the table. Yeah. So I went down there, and it was the one in Heinsohn, and I said, all right, I'll buy this table. I asked them, can I get it without the chairs? They're like, no. I was like, all right, well, I'll just buy it then. And then the woman said, okay, good. I'm so glad you're buying this, because we've had this crazy guy come in, and he's yelling and screaming and demanding that we give him discounts, and trying to get this for nothing and all this kind of stuff. And it's I'm glad you bought it, because now I don't have to deal with him anymore. And I was like, that's funny, because that guy's my dad, and also that man is a preacher, and is the most calm. My dad is super calm. He's just there's literally 0% chance he would have behaved like that. Mm-hmm. But obviously, when you're telling the story, she doesn't know that I'm related to him. He doesn't know. He's just embellishing. And I was like, I basically was like, that's my dad. And that's not really the way you should be conducting business. Is talking behind your customer's back, and it's I'm not really sure I want to buy this anymore. I tried to leave, and they're like, oh no, we're so sorry and stuff like that. And I was like, you got me over a barrel here because I really want this table, so I'm going to buy it. But I'm probably not coming back here because that's just not cool, kind of thing. And then they're like, well, they got somebody else and is like, oh, we'll give you a discount. What about this or whatever? And I was like, fine or whatever. And as we were checking out, she started to cry, and I was like, don't cry. This is the worst. I just wanted this stupid table so I could play poker with my friends. It's the worst experience ever. But she did. She also asked me. She's like, just promise me that you won't tell your dad. And I'm like, I just told her, I can't promise you that. I'm going to tell him immediately after I leave here, because this story is hilarious after the fact. At the time, it was very awkward, but after the fact, it was funny. So that's the story of how I got the poker table. They're done. Are we on to the finals?
They're waiting on you to switch.
Oh, okay.
That's why I opened the door. Just seeing if they were
all right.
Oh, they haven't started yet.
They haven't started.
The door doesn't want to close.
It's fine. You just kind of lean it. All right, so there's an unnecessary story about how I made that woman cry. No one really cares. People earlier cared, and someone asked me to finish the story. So we got Corey Buchanan on the left playing. He's playing, talking like a hick, he's playing Junk Reanimator. And on the right is Joseph Deal, and he's playing Naya Midrange. In the finals, I think Garrett wants to see the Reanimator deck. I think that's his best matchup, and I think Joseph probably has the best matchup going into it if he were to win.
Yeah, like he has all the caverns on Thundermalls and
He has caverns and Thundermalls. That's about all you need to know.
And caverns. Caverns are pretty important.
Oh yeah, caverns and Thundermalls. What I said. That's the basically the trump in that matchup.
Yeah, it has 4 Thundermalls in it.
Oh, people are trying to get us to make our NFL championship picks. You a football fan?
Yeah, but my football team didn't even make it to the...
Do you have a prediction for the...
I don't really have a prediction, to be honest.
I don't have a prediction, but I know what I want to happen, which is anything other than the Patriots winning is a good year.
I just like the Patriots.
Anything other than the Patriots winning is a good football season.
I honestly didn't watch...
Who's your team?
Steelers.
Oh, I'm a Steelers fan too. I knew that. Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, no problem. Oh, returning my army of the damned.
I was like, what?
Oh, it's a foil, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's get back to the action here. So, Corey on the play. Joseph won game 2. Bonfire for 1, cast the hard way. Clears Corey's board out. Of course, he's going to rebuy those.
Where's his, oh, wait, yeah, I get it, I think.
What was the question?
Was it cast the hard way, or did he top deck that? Because I only see 2 lands, and he didn't tap the harbor elf.
He has 3 lands. There's one kind of jammed in there.
Oh, alright.
Grizzly Salvage into turn. Nets him a Thragtusk. Bends another Thragtusk and an Angel of Serenity. So, the graveyard is plenty chock full of goodies. Now it's just a matter of whether or not he can find it on Burial Rites. Because this is one of those matchups for Corey against the non-blue deck where he's basically free reign to combo as he sees fit.
I like the way all of the chat was just like, go X team. Right
Yeah.
after we...
Once you get sports involved, then everybody starts picking sides.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to win a close one, and I believe the 49ers are going to blow out the Falcons, and then the Patriots will probably win the Super Bowl. Garrett! You haven't been here all night.
I know.
It's good to see you. How was your Hardee's?
I had to, there can only be one Highlander, so now that I've beaten Maxx, I've claimed the spot in the room.
I will say that this was not, the match you guys played was not what I would refer to as the most popular match in the history of the stream, but I tried to explain to people that that is very much a part of Magic, and that the control mirror is something that if you are, I told them, I was like, there's only one card that matters in this is Nephalia Drownyard. I forgot that you had Jace Memory of Death.
Yeah.
I forgot that you had tuned your deck to beat the Bant Mirror at SCG, which is like great against Maxx. Like there's no way he could beat you.
No.
You have to get you have to mull and get very unlucky. When he appetized for brains and you had 2 dissipates and a negate and a D-sphere, like you should just scoop. I'm serious. Like it's just. All right, so here we've got the other semifinal, so you can scout your matchup. Since I'm sure you probably already played both of these guys anyway.
Yeah. No, actually I haven't. But
you know what they're playing.
together.
Yeah, Magic cards versus Magic cards.
Is that what it's called nowadays?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't use those though, they're too big.
No, I think
So
it's called...
Purify the Grave from Joseph, obviously a sideboarded card. He took out the Angel of Serenity. Not sure why he did it during his turn. Wouldn't you do that mostly in response to an Unburial Rites for the Super Blowout?
Yep.
Like right now?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Crater of Behemoth comes down. Everything gets +3/+3. So that's an 8/8 trampling Craterhoof, a 4/4 Arbor Elf, and a 4/4.
Doesn't stop 3 of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he lives, I guess.
You should kill the Deathrite Shaman.
I think there's a pretty high chance that Corey has a Restoration Angel in his hand for his Crater of Beam.
Oh, does this deck play those?
Yeah, he did
Good
it to me.
grief. He did it to you?
Yeah, he got the Restoration Angel.
Oh. Is this who you played in the quarterfinals?
No, Garrett.
Oh, you played Garrett.
Yeah. Corey played JB, and
That game went to 3.
I got done with my game, and like he nudges me,
Uh-huh.
and has 1 card left in hand and like a board full of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, Crater of Beam.
It's a subtle tell.
Like he had this big
Grin.
grin on his face. I was going to say something else, but...
Corey's been here, I think this is the third time he's played here, and,
It'll be the second time if he wins that we meet in the finals.
Well, this is the third time he's played here, and 2 of those times he's played against you in the finals. The one time he was here was the 48-person tournament you won a box for playing in.
Right.
So he's running pretty good at FNMs up here.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, they do come up here because I like that attack right there, that he does not attack with a death right.
Yeah.
I really like that. So take 12, right? Down to 11.
Small.
14, is that right?
Didn't he only take 9, 8 from the Crater of Behemoth, 1 from the Elf?
I don't know. I'm bad at magic.
You are. Correct. I didn't finish my sentence.
You are correct.
Second strike test. Just reveal him the Restoration Angel. It's over.
So he goes up to 19.
Did he not block any? He didn't block.
Did he go up to 19?
Yeah, he blocked.
Oh, there's the token over there.
But he took 9, wasn't he, at 23? And then...
He went down to 14 and then gained 5.
So he's still in this.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with the Crater of Behemoth. If you don't win the turn you cast it, sometimes it's not good enough.
I think that's why he has Restoration Angel on the deck.
I mean, he's also got tons of other reanimation targets, but I don't know. He only saw 1 Unburial Rites. That's the first. He's been on camera earlier tonight. We didn't see an Unburial Rites in any of the games. He just won with casting dudes and beating down with Lingering Souls tokens.
He got me down to 12 with only Arbor Elves and Absence Pilgrim. I was I don't want to have to answer these things. There's 1/1 dorks. He has 1,000 mana over there anyway.
And there I was talking about. You would normally ask why is Corey using his Shaman main phase, but the reason he's doing that is because he can target the Purify of the Grave, which forces Joseph to use the Purify of the Grave, which then allows Corey to do whatever he wants after the fact.
Did he Lingering Souls first, or I think he should have?
He did not. He has another Lingering Souls in this bin.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, but he could have cast both of them. So yeah, I think you're right. I think he made I think in making one good play, he made a slightly less efficient play. He's going to mulch. Forest. Unburial Rites. Sun Petal Grove. Restoration. Oh.
There's the Restoration Angel.
Do they get... They don't get haste, right?
No. For a while I did think they did, but...
He took Sun Petal Grove. If Joseph gets to untap and has another Purify the Grave, or comparable effect, it'll be the greatest one he ever played in the history of his life.
I think if he untap... Does he have enough to Bonfire for 5? Because I think that would...
Yes, he does have Bonfire for 5.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was...
Crater Hoop down.
Why would you attack there?
Because he has another one?
Yeah, but...
Oh, because he wants to reanimate it?
But he could have reanimated the other one in that, too. Big old guys.
So now Joseph can attack for 10 if he wants to here. And just die to the crackback.
Oh no, he Gavin you? So is he just dead?
Take 8, down to 11.
What can he have for 2 mana?
I don't know. But if he has a Purify the Grave, he should not have tapped that.
He has a Root Crag left up.
Well, he's got an Absence
Token.
Token. But he should have tapped that. He should have tapped that crag and left open a Clifftop Retreat. There's somebody out there that's very loud while they're playing their Warhammer match. Earlier they were having a conversation with somebody while they were back here by our room, and while the other person was out there playing War Machine.
They were talking about something about taking the Lord's name in vain while me and Garrett playing.
Yeah.
It was pretty distracting.
At a very philosophical, religious discussion in a card store.
I didn't even hear what they were talking about.
So, Crater Hoof Behemoth is in the bin. I think, is there an Angel of Serenity in the bin too?
Yeah.
And Unburial Rites also in the bin, so unless Joseph has a Purify the Grave here.
Well, he's swing for 16 unless he gets another creature out.
Well, it doesn't give it haste though, right?
The Crater Hoop has it.
Yeah.
But I mean the other creatures don't, right?
No, but it'd give it buff.
So
Double Unburial Rites on both Crater Hoops?
So if last turn he had cast both of his... Last turn, if he had just Lingering Souls, like you said, and then used his Restoration Angel to blink the Crater Hoof, he would just win, right?
100% dead. Looks like he's just going for
it. Joseph doing the universal symbol of I don't appreciate that, which is the hands like this that no one else can see.
That's but at what cost?
But at what cost? At what cost? You may beat me, but at what cost? So here's an interesting scenario. If the board state is just like this, if
He
Corey,
dies on the crackback.
yes, because Joseph has 10 currently. Is he missing this? What?
Wait, no, it's not quite lethal, right? 8, 9, 10, so he lives with 1.
Just you don't need to block there though.
Yeah.
He's at 19 life.
Yeah.
He takes 8 and
They
then
both
16.
just displayed pretty badly.
What happened?
Okay, unless he top decks a bonfire, he doesn't win here. Okay, or Thunderbolt, I guess.
Well, he can have a Thunderbolt. I mean, he's had like 2 or 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, but I think he would have
Wouldn't you
slammed
just-
it last turn instead of Gavining. Because it does a lot more damage that way.
I'm not missing something, right?
You are not.
No.
You're better at this game than me. Like that's what should have happened, right?
You are correct.
Is just go down to 3 or down to 1 and then
Oh, you're going to get a huge complaint about that.
about what?
That life
Oh,
total
19. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. The game.
Oh, he had an ultimate price. That's why I did it. Okay.
Are you gonna play the finals, Garrett?
We'll see
Depends
what
on who wins.
I don't know. I have a very favorable matchup against either of these decks.
You would crush them. You should just play it.
Double ultimate
Wait.
price.
Okay, so that's why I did it. I
Like
thought it
I'm
was
not
one
I'm not
down.
missing that, right? Like he could have. Joseph should have won that game, right?
No, because he did have an ultimate price. And that's why I
Oh,
attacked.
so he would, and he had enough mana up to cast it.
Right, yeah.
So Joseph would have attacked, activated Gavany in response, kill one of them, and then he's hosed.
Alright, I'm going to flip this pencil to see if we play the finals. If it's still a pencil, we will.
Oh, pencil.
Still a
Wait,
pencil.
no. I think that's a pop tart now.
I bought that Pop-Tart. I bought that Pop-Tart at 6:30. Then I forgot that I had bought it, and I hadn't gotten it from Anthony. Then I went out an hour later and got it, and I still haven't eaten it.
Just like that Arby's last week. It was just kind of sitting here forever.
Well, that's because I couldn't eat it, because, like, I can't eat and also talk on the stream. And it was in all cold.
Everyone seems happy.
Hey, Ian, you taking off?
I don't know.
Oh, you want to hang out in here?
Sure.
Do you want to go get your stuff? Or is somebody watching it?
My stuff is in my car.
That's even
It's
better.
only 12 and we're at the finals? It's not even 12.
It is 12. It's 10
it's
till
4 rounds.
noon. It's 10 till noon, apparently.
10 till noon.
It's 10 to noon in Singapore.
Exactly 12 hours.
It is. Everywhere I lived, like 2 of the 3 places where I spent like considerable time living overseas were all on like 12 hours exact difference.
That's pretty
And
sweet.
yeah, I was like, people were like, what time is it there? I was like, same time, just the other side of the day. And conveniently, most people couldn't even comprehend that. Like, what do you mean it's the same time? I'm like, it's the same number, but it's just nighttime when it's day there. Because
I've never been on anywhere that's exactly 12.
I lived in, because Perth, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, they're all in that.
Oh.
So we've got, Yin and I, Yin of SCG Top 16 fame. We talked about you last week. If it wasn't for that GD Thalia and Mayor of Aberprook, you would have top 8'd that
Yeah, I
nonsense.
think that just like totally traumatized me since I went like 0-2, 1-2, 1-2 since then.
Well,
Were you running the same deck tonight?
Yeah. 1-2 drop.